A breakup can be a traumatic experience, and from that point of view, there are ways for you to heal. Don't get me wrong, everybody would heal from a breakup, but some people heal faster, and that's what we're gonna discuss today in this video. I'm gonna share with you, introduce you the concept of the 3 states of mind, and that will be potentially a game changer. And let me know in the comment section if that's the case, because sometimes we feel like, I don't see the end of the tunnel, I don't see any resolution for my pain. The pain is so hard, so intense that I feel it's going to be like this forever. I will share with you a very simple framework that you can apply to feel better almost right away. Bear with me. Jiggle.
IGetMyXback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
First, let's look at what is a breakup from a neuroscientific point of view. If you look at our brain. So first of all, we have the same area that addiction is activated in our brain. And therefore, that's why we feel the withdrawal symptoms. The same way so what is an addiction is when you get an external product, chemical product, into your system to release endorphins, oxytocin, dopamine. Okay? The happy molecules. Then there's a lot of things about the baseline and so on, but the principle here is like when we remove this, the intake of that product, then there's an imbalance in your brain because you're craving that product. It's exactly the same with relationship. And if you also look at the brain, the same area responsible for physical pain is activated. So you will heal. But some people will heal faster, some people will heal and will take a bit more time. The feeling of loss or the feeling of unfairness, and it's very important because the unfairness makes us act like very emotionally. They took the decision for me. That's why it's a shock. How could they do this to me? I was in love with that person. He or she was the most important person in my life, and they broke everything apart. So, of course, the pain you have and you feel right now will disappear. It's hard because it's very difficult. It's very intense right now, and we all have this idea that when we feel something, we project that this pain will stay with us forever. Can you accelerate the process? Yes. Let's discuss how. We have 3 states. First one is the hyper-aroused state, the fight or flight, the very emotional response. When there's an explosion, that's how you react, right? And that's why you have symptoms like sweaty palms, increased heart rate, difficulty concentrating, this sort of panic attacks, rage, hypervigilance. Everything is, maybe you're hyper vigilant of the text you will receive from your ex. It's very hard for you to focus because your mind is going at hundreds of miles per hour. Okay, so that's the hyper-aroused state. Usually, when we are in the fight or flight response, sympathetic response. Then you have the hypo-aroused state, the freeze. It's like when we are lethargic, low in energy, kind of numb. You spend your day in the bed, you just watch Netflix. Any sort of task is like a big thing. You basically shut down. Okay, so some people will react this way after a breakup. For instance, I would react, if I look at the different breakups, I would react this way, more of like a hyper-aroused state. So like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to. People would ask me like, do you want to go out? I was like, no, I don't want to go out. Some other people would be like, no, I need to do something. It's hectic, and you have your mind going at, hundreds of miles per hour. What you have to aim is to be the optimal level of functioning. Being present, calm, safe. Where you take control, because either the hyper-aroused and the hypo-aroused, it's kind of your unconscious part. It's kind of your primitive part of the brain taking control. Okay? You can be engaged and alert, but not scared. Okay? Be active, and not complacent, not zoning out, that's the right place. Okay? This applies in every single part of your life. We all go through those stages. The idea is when something happens to us, we need to identify where we are and what we should do to get back to that zone. So the optimal level of functioning is where you answer if you want to get your ex back. It's the answer if you want to heal from the breakup. So you need to really actively find ways to reach this zone and stay there. We'll go back. If you reach out to your ex and you're hypo or hyper aroused, they won't be attracted by you. They don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's like has panic attack, who can't concentrate, or they don't want to be with someone who's like this, doesn't want to do anything, come across as sad and depressed. No. They want to be with you who can be thinking rationally, clearly, who's alert. That's attractive. That's the person they want to see in face. So assess where you are and recognize as soon as possible where you are. If you are in the hyper arousal state, the one at the top, it's really about letting go of those emotions. Find ways to relax. Do some journaling, mindfulness. It's really about like all those thoughts, all those fear, those obsessions. Try to channel them. Seek help from a counselor, a therapist to really channel those things and return to a normal state. Okay, it's harder to do on your own, but you can do it. And find ways. That's why mindfulness is so powerful. It's so popular now, because it's something you can go on the go. So go on Headspace or whatever, Calm. Find yourself an app and try to do mindfulness to really calm down those things and get back to that good state. Getting active is one way as well, because when you're active, you stop focusing on other things. It's kind of a mindfulness exercise to go for a run, for example. Either you put like a podcast or music, but then you'll be at the same time running, being active. You also release oxytocin, which is one of the happy molecules. Okay. The hypo-aroused state is different things, because as we discussed, it's like zoning out, getting active. But right now, as you've identified that's the need to do, sometimes it's just taking the first step that's the hardest. So if you feel that you're in that state and it's still daylight, pause this video, close your laptop and go for a walk for 10-15 minutes. Get active. Usually the hardest part, the hardest mile is the first one, right? So go for walks, get some sunlight. It's so important to get sunlight. That really affects your mood and also your energy levels. So if you feel like staying in bed, don't stay in bed too long. Get out if you can. Get in the sun. Reduce screen time, because again, screen time is you're getting dopamine rush from screen, but it keeps you in that lethargic state. Be more social, even again, same as walk and running. Even if you don't feel like it, just go to the pub and say to yourself, I'm just going to go for one drink. Trust me, you'll stay for more, but just go for one, okay? And again, counseling is about, I think for counseling in that case, of course it's important to discuss how you feel and to plan accordingly sort of the next action, but I think in that case, what helps me, for example, is the accountability. So the reason I have a counselor for my work, but the reason, for example, or the way I want to address any form of being in the hyper-vigilant state, sometimes when I'm a bit lazy or I want to go to the gym or stuff like that, I find myself to be accountable. So I would join a class or I would play tennis, and so I can't let people down. Okay, so find ways for you to get that accountability framework if you are in that state. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Let me know if that's something you didn't know and that helps you, or that will help you. Again, if you are in this hypo-aroused state, stop this video, stop what you're doing, go outside, go for a walk, watch my videos another day. Take care, bye-bye.
For a long time, get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.